6:34 my time. Good evening. Um, I hope that you are all doing well. I hope that whenever it is that you watch this video, your heart is peaceful. Please excuse me. Yeah, I hope everyone's good. I hope everyone's good. I have been feeling absolutely insane. I've been feeling really, really scattered, and today was actually it was it was one of my tougher weeks mentally. Um, I'm still trying to claw my way out. I'm relying on all of my tools. I'm trying to keep moving and trying to stay hydrated and trying to rest when my body says that she needs rest. But the shadow is still persisting. And I find it really hard to I've been finding it hard to stay in the moment and stay focused. And stay patient. Hey Pearl, thank you so much. Thank you. I really need this energy and the vibe. Thank you for even calling me beautiful. I really need that. Yo, it's been real. It's been so real. It's been so real. How was this week? How's this week been? If you're watching this after it, after it's done streaming, consider how you're feeling right now. Like I said, I can't reiterate that I really hope you're feeling well because it's been wild. This past week was crazy. If you're someone who keeps up with the details, yes, exactly. It was very, very draining. And that was on purpose considering the shifts. I posted on Twitter that uh, I posted the link between the fact that we had a very long full moon. The full moon was out for 4 days. Um, well, okay, that's according to what I saw on Twitter. I didn't actually pay attention to whether or not it was exactly 4 days, but I do remember waking up in the middle of the night, looking at the moon and thinking, wow, it's still full. And just to verbalize the link that I'd made via Twitter and the facts that are there. What happened this week was a lunar standstill, which apparently happens every 18.6 years, which also aligns to the nodal shifts that apparently happen every 18 years. So there was a lot of energy, a lot of. I kept reading people mentioning how there's going to be a lot of moments. I imagine that's still going to unfold. It felt like last week was like a pulling, like a pulling of something. Like there was a huge force going on, so that we really had to surrender. There was no choice but to planetary alignment on the 25th. Please tell me more about that. What is happening? So yes, more need for surrender. Like if you had any plans, if you had any goals, I imagine that they were not reached on the week of the 19th of January, on the week of the first full moon of the year. I hope that you weren't hard on yourself. I definitely was, but it was part of what needed to come out of me. So if you were feeling low vibe, I hope that it was something that you were able to alchemize. I did alchemize, and I am alchemizing. I feel really present. This is the most present I've ever been in my depression. So I feel good, even though I don't feel good. I actually feel fine. Yeah, I can't even. I feel so. Everything feels so intense and so pulled and like so I wish I could find the word. I wish I could find the word, but it's as if God is looking right at us like this. You know what I mean? Like right in our face, and God's eyeball is like right on our, like right there. And there's no room, there's no space to breathe. There's no room to like there's no room to distract anymore. There's no room to avoid. You can't if you were ever the type of person, and I've said this countless times in other readings, but I mean it's getting worse and worse. If you're the type of person who distracts themselves, um, or I guess is pretty good at detachment, maybe. There's no detaching. There's looking. You have to. We're being forced to look right at the thing, right at it, and be with it, and hold it, and like move with it, and allow it to change us. And it's really changing us. Are we not changing? Like, is everything is so new. Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn will align on the 25th of January. We'll be able to see them. Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. Yes, I heard about that. I think I remember reading it as the fact that all the planets will be aligned, like every single one. Was that every single one? I mean, that's a lot. So actually, whatever. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It is unimaginable how energetic that day will be. Like, while it's cool that we'll be able to see them in the sky, what we'll be feeling, our dreams, our living life, I get the sense that there are going to be so many coincidences that it's going to make anyone a believer. The things that we'll be seeing by the time this month ends, everybody's going to believe in God. Everybody. Um, so yeah, I had began all of this saying that I don't know where this week is going to go. I don't know where life is going to go. I don't know anything. I don't know. I feel so, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, about everything that I can't, I cannot even feel out. I cannot even, sometimes it feels like I can't even feel myself. I can't even get a sense of my life. It's not even disassociation. It's more like, it's more like, I don't know. I suppose sometimes I feel so aware of how much bigger everything is, what I'm seeing. I feel so aware of the other forces and the great big energy that's just like pulsing every day right now. Yeah, it makes me speechless, makes me totally speechless. I'm remembering now that I actually had some notes that I came with for this reading. So to begin, um, we are, I wanted to go over the energies that may or may not have been processed this week that we need to make sure we don't go into next week with, because um it feels like it would be such a shame not to recap this week. While it was tough, very draining, there was a lot of work being done. And I guess because of how exhausting this week is, it's easy to forget. um yeah, it's easy to forget and put your focus on how drained you are versus how much work was done. So again, I don't know, this is all personal. It's the stuff that I felt coming for me, and things that I saw through social media as well, that my community was talking about. This is obviously very personal though, and I hope that um I'd like to invite you to be aware of how much work you've done personally this week, what you processed, how you were feeling, and the fact that you came out of this week not murdering anyone, not robbing a bank, not stealing money from people, because you could have done that. You know what I mean? With the way that we were so pushed to our limits this week, we could have really committed a crime, or we could have been a hater. We could have been destructive to our community, but we weren't. You know what I mean? And I mean, even if we were, I trust that every person watching this is aware enough to understand how they can go about correcting whatever wrong was done this week. You know what I mean? Like, we're all present. We were all doing really, really well. It is huge to be alive right now and to be a good-hearted person. And I trust that you're a good-hearted person. Um, yeah. Yeah. No, that's it. That's all I can throw right now. Oh, yes. See, my mind is scattered. It's everywhere. So I was saying, I was dealing with the dangers of self-victimization, which is at the root of the depression that I feel. And I think sometimes is the root of depression overall is that you feel like you 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 feel like you're the opposite of powerful. Like things are happening to you. You're more on the I have no control and this is very, very bad side of the spectrum. So that's the energy that I think majority of us were dealing with this week. How scary it is that we don't actually have control of our lives and that really anything can happen. Anything. Um, and how that is meant to be, it's meant to be an invitation for surrender into the you are protected side, not you are in danger side. So we were dealing with that you are in danger bit, the fear, the little voice that claims that we're in danger all the time. There was a huge awakening of feminine energy. A lot of people were doing, I observed that a lot of people were doing womb work, breathing from the womb. So moving the breath from the womb to the heart, back to the womb. And for any first timers who don't understand the practical sense of what I'm talking about, when you're breathing, close your eyes and I guess put your awareness, put your thought, make it move from your heart, from the space in your heart to the space in your womb, and move it back and forth from there, practically in your mind. Imagine a glowing light or something moving between those spaces. Yeah, so a lot of people doing that kind of work. My period started this week, and I imagine that with the intense moon action, a lot of people's periods were moving funny, either delayed or very intense, or haven't started yet and they were supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, um, the waters have been moving very, very intensely this week. The water in the blood, water in the sea, water in the way we feel. You know. Um, and I pulled a reading this morning that gave that the worst is over, and that the worst is more over because there's nothing worse than this. We're at the bottom. We are at the bottom, but it's good because we can only go up from here. And um, we are in that space where, because we are so pushed to our limits, I think I tweeted about it actually, because we're so pushed to our limits, we there's nothing left, you know, and because there's nothing left in that nothingness, we are free. So, you know, when when things are going so crazy that you actually don't know what to do, you don't know what the next move is, so you just sit in that, we'll have to see that, you know what I mean, that. So I am getting the sense that we're being taught to get to that point without needing to be pushed to our limit. We should be able to find that, we'll see, in the moment, in every moment, all the time. We shouldn't have to wait for emergencies or to wait to be traumatized. Please stop. Please stop. We shouldn't have to wait to be traumatized to access the raw energy of being alive. Yes, we should be able to activate that raw energy all the time. For another example, to drive it home, when you feel grief, when you feel extreme grief, when something extremely shocking happens to you, Grief is my favorite one because it's common across the board. Everyone knows how when you experience grief, when someone very, very important to you dies, there's just there's like a static kind of and you don't, your thoughts, there's nothing, you don't even know. So you're taking everything moment by moment. That's what we should be doing right now, but without the grief part. We should be able to access that that clean stream of consciousness all the time, which is hard. And it's like it's like the universe, God is trying to make it harder so that we can get better, you know, and we can have more fun, and so that life can be more enjoyable, because that's how it will be more enjoyable at this point in history, considering everything. We've got the internet, we've got all these apps. TikTok is banned. TikTok is banned. I haven't been keeping up with that too much. I know that there's an extension, but TikTok is banned. Can you believe that? So, the cards that have come out are the World and the King of Discs, which I think speaks about how we are, which I think drives home what I was speaking about now, about how, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. So, okay, I said it drives it home, but it didn't actually drive it home. I didn't make the link yet. So the point is, okay, these cards, what I'm receiving from them is the lesson of how we are learning to, okay, here's the driving home, how we are learning to move moment by moment. We're trying to learn how to be in the moment. But in order to do that, we have to be able to turn our our inner security. We have to be able to access our inner security. Yes. We have to be able to be so the King of Discs, he's a rich king to me, right? You can only imagine how secure in ego and even in heart a rich king like this could be, right? He's not someone to be emotionally swayed. He's very practical. He has a good handle on his material world because of how secure he is in his inner world. There's a good link there. Probably manifests money really well and has a lot of it and manages it really well as well. Very influential. And someone who is influential has to be able to be influential on themselves as well, right? So it's that kind of um, grounding that we're working for as individuals. Um, I think I'm getting, so the King of Swords is underneath as well. I'm really getting that we're just healing the masculine within us, basically. We're all healing our masculine energy. And just on that note, I've read, well, yeah, I mean, I've read comments about how using the words masculine and feminine are problematic, but I haven't actually grounded myself in why. So if anyone knows, I would appreciate I would appreciate getting a personal perspective versus something that I'm seeing online from likely an American person. I'd love to know what the angle is there. Um, but when I speak on it and I use those words, I'm talking, I use those words to cover principles like tenderness versus hardness, logic versus emotion, da da versus da da. But like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Let me know if it's problematic. Um, but yeah, we are bringing a union of our of the polarizing energies within us. The feminine is the one that needs to be nurtured. The masculine needs to nurture the feminine within us. So we're feeling vulnerable and sad and worn down and like we want to be taken care of. I'm sure that's a feeling that came up with me a lot, that I really, really wish that I could just be taken care of. The work and the universal invitation is for us to do that work ourselves, for ourselves, as far as we can. So turn on that inner voice as far as it can to try to um let's ask Auntie Nancy, baby. Turn on that inner voice as far as you can, to be that threw me off. I'm sorry. But okay. This sounds a bit I don't know how this will sound. But basically we have to learn how to be our own boyfriends and be our own partners and be our own lovers and be our own parents, be our own fathers, be our own mothers. And maybe to some extent be our own gods on earth, be our own God. So I'm thinking of the story of, and I'm sure we've all, like everyone watching this has heard of it, but I'm just going to like skim through it quickly. The one where someone's lost at sea, he prays for help, a ship comes, but he tells, a boat comes, but he tells the boat, no, I prayed for help. So it goes another boat over and over again until he dies, and then um, goes to heaven, says to God, dude, why didn't you send help? God was like, I sent you those boats. So in that sense, be your own God, like help yourself. Um, be gentle with yourself. Um, try to be your own therapist, so to speak. So when you are feeling sad, turn on that inner voice that says, how are you? What are the ways that we can help you feel better? What is it that you need? You know, it's okay to lie down. You know, turn on the voice that says that it's okay to lie down. It's okay to rest right now. It's okay that you don't feel like doing anything. I'm immediately getting the sense that this draining and this emotion, it's not gonna go away. Um, it won't go away. It's going to be it's going to be a challenge. We will get out of it, but we have to put the work in to get out of it. I've said this so many times before. I'm always triggered in the same way. So there's still a lot of work to do for me. But yeah, um, just have to keep being hopeful, stick to the gratitude lists, try to do the mirror work more often, looking into our own eyes and putting, activating the love and gratitude while we're looking, holding our own gaze in the reflection. But like doing it, really doing it and putting the time to do it. Like maybe even if you set an alarm and do it, set an alarm to meditate, set an alarm to do all of these things, look after your spirit, because it's not going to come easy. It doesn't feel like the energies are going to lighten up. It doesn't feel like, it feels like we have to fight for the ease that we want, but we're going to get it. We will. And maybe we don't have to fight too hard. Maybe we don't have to fight at all. We don't have to fight at all. The work is doing itself. The work is really doing itself. Sorry. The Empress and the Nine of Discs, which is great because this is what we're working for. So, like I'm saying, it's gonna come. The work is happening. It's all happening. It's doing its thing. But we have to fight for it, and we have to be able to trust ourselves. Yes, that's what I'm receiving from you. Figure out how to trust yourself. Get to the root of why it is that you don't yet. Get to the very bottom of why you feel like things aren't going to work out, why you feel like you will not find a solution to every problem that comes up in your life. And if there is no solution, the solution will be given to you. You just have to wait. Why is it that you can't trust that? Why can't you trust that? Exactly. Intentionality and deliberateness is key. And the energy behind that behavior. Why are we doing the things that we are doing? And why wouldn't it be rooted in faith that everything will work out? If we already know that everything is going to work out, we have to really know. We have to really we have to really my inner voice has been telling me a lot this week in combat to the feelings of depression and etc. Hey Zinande, by the way, I didn't greet. Hey, um, my depression has been telling me in uh, in my efforts to heal through it that we have to get our shit together now. We have to. Like it's totally unacceptable that we still um all right, you see, okay, this is mean, but this is how I guess my shadow deals with it. It's totally unacceptable that that we still feel sad. It's totally unacceptable. False, okay? But just hear me out. If it is that, if you know that God is good, if you know that life is worth living, if you know how precious it is to be alive, right? You start each day appreciating your health, appreciating yourself, the health and love of your loved ones, the fact that you're loved, you're alive, you have a roof over your head, you have these things, you know how amazing it is. You see people online, we're seeing people online every day. Palestinians are still fighting for freedom. We have freedom, we have it, God bless them, God bless us all, but we are blessed. We really are. So it's totally unacceptable that I'm still moving like I'm not. It's totally unacceptable for me. Like I've had enough. I'm done. I'm done with myself. You know what I mean? I'm over it. And it's time for me to be a king. It's time for me to be my own king. It's time for me to save myself, save my life, fight for my happiness, fight for my abundance, and like live in it and embody it and go against any thoughts or low frequency, like really like fight myself, fight myself. It's crazy. It's crazy, this thing that we've decided to do, this spiritual awareness awakening, etc., that we've decided to do. It's insane. um the Two of Discs and the Lovers and the Chariot. So just more and more again, how we're doing a lot of work to unite the the this is actually a lovely card to read. Let me read this. To unite the inner masculine and feminine within. Um doing this reading with my son in the room is a little bit difficult because I can feel him. I can feel him. It's crazy being a parent. Okay. So I'm gonna read the short paragraph. It says working with the lovers. Choice is the traditional interpretation of the lovers, specifically whether to stay in a situation that feels increasingly restrictive or to break away. This may be the first time we're consciously given a choice between immaturity and maturity. The shadow figure will act as a goad, conscience, or even nemesis. The path may be clear or hidden. The couple may stay bound together or find themselves moving inexorably apart. So the card itself describes it interchanges its description between these two being a within thing and this being an expression of some outward relationship. But I think that this has to do with the inner world and has to do with what I just described I'm going through, which is they used the sentence, this may be the first time we're consciously given a choice between immaturity and maturity. So that's exactly what I've been experiencing. The pull between maturity, immaturity, self-victimization, self-empowerment. Woe is me. How can I change my perceptions to see a way out of this? So that push and pull between you and you. And this card, I'll also read this one. I remember pulling this card before actually, but I think it's worth uh, reading again because of how it describes what's going on here. Um, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Zinande, thank you for that last sentence. Not many can say they have that scope of life. I actually realized that a few hours ago that some people will go through their whole lives and die never realizing how much of their lives is in their own hands and how much choice and freedom they have to be able to do literally whatever you want. Like some people will never be able, they couldn't even grasp it. They're actually too fearful to face the reality that you can do whatever you want in this life and you can be whoever you want to be. And yeah, it's all yours. It's all yours. It's very scary. It's very, very scary. Scary thing to face. I'm going to find the two of this and then hold it up again. Does anybody actually have any children or pets around them? I would love to know, even in the comments, if you have any children or pets around you, how have they been behaving on the week of the full moon? How have the energies been? My son has not been sleeping at all. It's been crazy. And his emotions have also been haywire. Outside of the fact that we're connected, I think he's got his own changes. And I have a nephew who is almost 15 weeks. And yeah, he's also been changing. It's just changing. Everyone's just so different. Everything is so different. Okay, so I'm not going to read the whole paragraph. There's just a part that I appreciate that it mentions about the description here. So it says how it says there are no guarantees. The exposure to the energy that is happening in this card, the exposure to this energy could crush you. So I'd say that the exposure to what we are going to experience, what we experienced this week, and what we will experience towards the end of the month with the planetary alignments, everything, it could crush us. It could crush us. Baby, please. But the heart-shaped pattern at the top hints that if we do choose to walk through, which we will, we have no choice. We have no choice. Maybe other people do, but we don't have a choice. Once we do choose to walk through, something such as love will sustain us. So we will be okay. Yeah, we will be okay. We have to surrender. We can surrender because, yeah, we're being taken care of. We really are. The work that we're doing is greater than us and greater than even words can describe. I may have to go soon. I think I'm going to come back here, revisit this card, and read the interpretation of it. I think this is the center of all the work that we're doing, really, so that we can get to this kind of abundance, this kind of beauty. You know what I mean? This kind of like fruitfulness and richness. This is wealth in some of the truest ways that you can describe it right now. You know. So to get to this, we have to do this and embody this, embody the image of these men, the power of them, the self-confidence, self-assurance, the let's go, let's just do it and see what comes out on the other side. Let's just try it. Let's believe in ourselves. Let's be confident. Let's have faith in our ability to, hlanganisa the things. This is the work we're doing. This is the work. I'm going to revisit that card, read the brief interpretation of it. Yeah, I'm going to read the paragraph, then read the interpretation, and then round everything up. Wish you well and hope for a better week. And yeah, like I said, I love doing this so much. And I'm starting to feel like I might want more. So I said last week that I would try to check in again in the middle of the week. Um, yeah, we all know last week was tough. I may not try again, but yeah, can't emphasize how much I love this. It's so fun. I'm so grateful for everybody. I'm so grateful for everyone's presence, everyone watching this, everyone who tunes in. And it's like that you even acknowledge me is just really so awesome to me. Thank you. Um, yes. Thank you, Zinande. I feel that. Yeah. Oh, being a mother as well during all of these, like shout out, shout out. That's all I can say. Congratulations to us. We deserve a million, billion, trillion, gazillion. So, the lovers. Plato believed that the complete soul splits into two in order to incarnate, and we're forever searching for the missing half of ourselves. Our first love enables us to choose whether or not to separate ourselves from our parents. From birth to death, life is a series of choices: growth or stasis, symbiosis or autonomy. At its deepest level, the choice is always between love and fear. To mature, to stand tall as fully sexual adults in our own right, we have to extricate ourselves from our parents or from any other restrictive relationship. That includes with your own inner shadows, restrictive relationships with yourself, your grief, your traumas, etc. To fulfill our potential, we'll have to choose to face our deepest fears, because the paradox contained within the lovers is that these fears hide our greatest joy. I still don't get that. I honestly still don't understand that, but um, I have to figure it out. We have to figure it out. So if you get it, please let me know. And I guess I'd have to do a lot of reading and experiencing real life in order to get the real answer for that. So, blah. The interpretation reads: choice between symbiosis and autonomy, old and new, fear and love. Necessary separation from aspects of the past and present in order to let in the future. Honesty to yourself or to someone else about some fundamental truth. The ability to see your own blocks. The dawn of sexual awareness. When it says the dawn of sexual awareness, that's also something I don't understand. But I think that I may or may not, because there's actually a user. Her name is, I think it's Tumi Moloto 777. She has this her thing is to sexualize God, and she makes the link, because she's a somatic coach, she prioritizes the link between sexual energy and creation and God. And she describes sexual energy as God energy. So she makes that link like direct and emphasizes that. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, her whole thing actually, because she's a somatic coach, she sexualizes her relationship with God, so that yeah, sorry, I lost. So that so that that's what's happening all the time. And I suppose then when it mentions the dawn of sexual awareness, what it's linking to is the dawn of like the whole and full realization of God, not just the good stuff, but the bad stuff, the shadows, and the fact that God is the all and the big, not just the light. Um, yeah, but that, I don't know if everybody watching this video will be on the same page with that one. So we could just start off with just what I'd mentioned, what I began the reading with, which is the fact that we're doing work to um, we're doing work to exist like this proudly. The way that they're conjoined like that, it's a little bit creepy. They're naked, they're vulnerable. It's very we're doing work to exist like this, honestly, and just truthfully, authentically, just like this, boobs out, pussy facing the world, just as we are. and and try to find joy and love in that, because the love is always there, it's always true, it's something we're always deserving of. And I hope that we can take that forth this week. My son's whining his ass off. I have to go. I'm very grateful for the usual names, the usual faces. I'm so, so, so grateful for you all. And I'm so grateful for anybody that ever tunes into my work. This is really my passion. So this is very cool. And I'm really grateful that we're also going through all of this together. So until next time, yeah, let's do this. Let's live.